now they're ready to go win the NFC.
You do realize they're the only one participating in Hard Knocks, so it's kind of hard to lose.
Well, maybe they should just be retired as the all-time team. They should be on every year. Jerry'd go for that.
Oh, boy. He probably would. Yeah. He probably would. You could sense that as the season ended and wrapped up last night. I wish we had more, but the reality is they did wrap up their 5-episode season last night, and we got to see the final roster cuts, Dak Prescott's preparation for the season opener against Tampa Bay, and Jerry Jones' everlasting optimism about the upcoming season. So, Shannon, did this season of Hard Knocks make you feel better or worse about the Cowboys' chances? Be honest.
Well, Skip, it didn't change my outlook because I had very little expectations of them for the season anyway. So nothing they was going to be able to do was going to change my mind. I think it gave us a glimpse inside to what Mike McCarthy, I don't know if he's really that bland and dull as far as speaking in front of his team, but I think we got an idea of like, okay, it probably made him look worse. The outside world probably looks at him a little different today than they did before the season started. You mentioned that Jerry would like to treat this like a Thanksgiving Day. He'd like to do this every year. You know, Skip, he in Detroit, they're going to be on Thanksgiving every single year. Jerry would like to do this every single year because it gives him an opportunity to showcase Jerry Jones. You get a chance to see the star. You get a chance to see the big old shiny building, you know, in Jerry's world. So Jerry really likes this.
And how did episode 5 end last night? With about 15 straight minutes of Jerry from on high in his office, overlooking the practice field,
this thing is
watching his team at work.
Exactly. So for me, Skip, look, I saw, you know, in practice, CD, Amari make a couple of nice catches. The thing that I really could relate to, Skip, being a 7th-round draft pick and waiting for the phone to ring, hoping it doesn't ring, to say, Shannon, blame your playbook. And we were sharing rooms back then. We were in the hotel, Clarion Hotel. I'll never forget it. Me and a buddy of mine, B-Mac, I know you're watching. And the phone ring. It rang. I ain't answering, Skip. You finna tell me I'm going home, bring my playbook.
Pre-cell phone.
yeah, this is pre-cell phone.
This is the room phone. Yeah.
This is the room phone, Skip. I'm like, I ain't answering the phone.
Yep.
Then he comes out, backside. Homeboy, they got me. Good luck the rest of the way. And, you know, we still good friends today. We still talk to this day.
Was that the end of his career?
That was it. He played a couple of years in the World League. Okay. And then that was it.
Well, there was a lot of that going on last night. Yeah. Except all of the potential victims all wound up on the practice squad. See, there was no practice squad.
Actually, 90 was the first year, but we didn't know anything about the practice squad. It was in its infancy then. I think there was like 5. They kept 5 players.
And now it's 16, so it seems like everybody's on the practice
maybe 7, Skip.
Now Le'Veon Bell's on the practice squad.
Yeah, you had to, you know, there was back then, Skip, you had to basically no NFL experience or 1 year. You couldn't be 7, 8 years in the league and then get on the practice squad. So that was something that I could relate to. I thought Diggs' son.
Oh, you know, he just took it over. He
loves that. He's like, you're not matching Mahomes. He's like, bro, you got to do a better job, man. You got to stop calling me Patrick Mahomes.
That kid's going to be a star.
Yeah, but Skip, you know what? You're going to be able to look back this in 20 years from now, because I remember Christian McCaffrey. Remember we showed the picture at the Super Bowl, Skip, how he was. He was like that, coming around, hanging with his dad in the locker room.
Was he that outgoing?
Yeah, he was. He was, Skip. You know, he and I played the Power Rangers. He and his brothers was always on the field playing football. So
he's become more quiet. Yes.
But he was a little bit more outgoing when he was younger. But so for me, Skip, look, I'm glad to see Dak's back out there. He looks good. Now, last night was the first time I was like, okay, Dak looked like he does have some zip on the ball, as opposed to that soft toss that I saw him doing before. So, Skip, nothing that happened in this episode changes my mind because I had very little expectations of him before it actually started. So I feel the exact same.
Okay, Shannon Sharp, it is now my turn, and I just might need a seatbelt to put on over here because I, for one, am feeling way better about my Dallas Cowboys after last night's episode 5. I'm actually starting to get bullish on my Cowboys for the first time all offseason. I loved what I saw. It made my Cowboy blue blood start to percolate and almost brought it to a boil as I watched my man Dak back. I saw him throwing some rockets. I saw some gas on the football.
So you pick him
I saw a
Thursday.
little mustard. I saw a little juice that I have not seen.
Yeah.
I saw my man Dak Prescott cutting loose with the football in ways that I did not believe I would see even in episode 5, because he's still being troubled by this mysterious arm injury, and they keep saying, we think he'll be ready for the opener, but we're not sure. He looks 1,000% ready for the opener.
Oh, I might get a bet then.
Okay, am I right about that?
Yeah, he looked good.
You mentioned you were impressed.
Yes.
I was actually blown away by accuracy and velocity that I have not seen since the early days of camp, maybe episode 1 of Hard Knocks. It's like I'm living my life through Hard Knocks into my team, the Cowboys.
Pre-team, though. This was when he was without pads, before the joint practices started.
It was even before the first padded practice, because that's the one where he pulled up lame. Whatever was wrong with his lat, I don't know what it is.
Yes.
So I was going into camp very concerned about a double surgery on his ankle. I thought it was a single surgery until episode 1 when he divulged, we kept it from the media. I needed a second surgery. He's now got a little wishbone scar on his ankle.
Okay.
But he looks like he is moving and grooving as well as ever. To me, he looked nimble. I watched him running the sprint drills, the gasser type drills, and he's planning and cutting on the ankle like nothing, like nothing's wrong with it. So my biggest fear became a non-fear, because all I was concentrating on now was, is the arm going to be okay? And I think it's going to be okay. I liked his demeanor. I liked his attitude. I liked him with little Aiden Diggs. I liked everything about him. He took over the episode to me, and he took over the football team. So I think we do have permission to show a little chunk of Hard Knocks featuring Dak Prescott. Could we see him in action, both throwing the football and addressing the football team at the end of a practice, please?
Yes, sir!
Oh, that's a shot. That's a shot.
I said we're going to get whatever we put into this. Harold said it best. We're investing in the bank so we can put this out when we need it. We're going to pull it out next Thursday. And this is going to be the reason. This is going to be our ass. Who gives a up there in the heat? It's what we got inside, the way we push each other. It's our brotherhood.
So my biggest takeaway from what you just saw is we have spent all season long on Hard Knocks ridiculing Mike McCarthy's attempts to motivate the team in pregame speeches, even weekday speeches. And it has been pathetic, and it has been embarrassing, and it has exposed Mike McCarthy as not a commanding officer type, not a natural-born leader. And it's troubling to me, because I didn't know him like that, because I can't see inside the locker room before games. And he did, once upon a time, long ago, coach the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers to a Super Bowl, and they won it. So I don't know what he said before the game. I don't know what he said at halftime, but somehow, did they win in spite of him? Did he go along for a great ride with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, had they not done Hard Knocks, we still wouldn't have known what type of speaker he is in front of the team. Because that's not something that we're privy to. You know, they give a little coach speak after a win or something. He's like, hey, great victory. You're off till Wednesday, yada, yada, yada.
Okay, so we did see one quick glimpse of Mike McCarthy the day after cutdown day, when they had their full final squad in the big meeting room, all together, including 16 new practice squatters. And he was addressing the team for the first time about the upcoming game at Tampa. And I'm just going to read one line from it. We got to get in their ass and play football. What? I'm envisioning Shannon Sharp sitting in the front row going, like seriously? We got to go play football, man. Just stop it. But then I saw that from Dak, and I thought, he's the leader of this football team. That worked for me. And he did say, we're gonna go win this game. I think I heard that come out of his. We're gonna go win this, and we've put in the work to win this. And I liked every
Right.
That was natural born to me.
Skip, I don't think anybody thought that someone other than Dak was the leader of the team. You can tell guys gravitate towards him. He has just a certain disposition about himself that people want to follow him. And you want your quarterback to have that. It's not necessarily a prerequisite that your quarterback has to be the leader of the team, but it's nice for the quarterback to be the leader of the team.
I agree.
There's no question he's that.
Okay, so I have issues with my head coach. I have bigger issues with my general manager / owner, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. I love my quarterback. Dak is back, and he is the one I would suggest. The last word before they run out onto the field in Tampa, the last word needs to come from the quarterback because it'll be words that hit the hearts of his players. They will follow Dak into battle in ways, but they're oblivious to the head coach. They're going to have to win in spite of Mike McCarthy. I like glimpses of him last night. He seems like a good dude.
He does.
You know?
He does.